Introduction. Imagine this. It's Monday morning. Your alarm goes off, and instead of feeling ready to tackle the day, you're hit with a wave of May. The thought of your to-do list makes you want to pull the covers back over your head. We've all been there, right? Today, we're diving into the world of motivation, or more specifically, how to find it when it seems to have gone on vacation without you. Here's the thing. Motivation isn't some magical force that either shows up or doesn't. It's more like a muscle we can train and strengthen. In this video, we're going to explore 10 practical strategies to motivate yourself when you're feeling May. These aren't just quick fixes or temporary mood boosters. They're tools you can use to build lasting motivation and resilience. Before we jump in, remember that it's totally normal to have days when you're not feeling your best. The key is not to let those days define you or derail your progress. So are you ready to discover how to reignite your motivation and get back on track? Let's do this. 1. Start small. Our first strategy is all about taking that first step, no matter how tiny it might be. When you're feeling unmotivated, even the smallest tasks can feel like climbing Mount Everest. So we're going to outsmart that feeling by starting ridiculously small. Here's a personal example. A few months ago, I was struggling to establish a consistent writing habit. The idea of sitting down to write for an hour each day felt overwhelming. So I decided to start small, really small. I committed to writing just 50 words a day. That's it, just 50 words. Here's why this works. 1. It makes the task feel less daunting. 50 words? I can do that in 5 minutes, even on my worst day. 2. It creates a sense of accomplishment. Each day I hit that 50-word goal. I felt a little burst of success. 3. It builds momentum. Often, once I started writing those 50 words, I'd find myself wanting to continue. Quick tip. Break down your larger goals into the smallest possible actions. If you want to get fit, start with 1 push-up a day. If you're learning a language, commit to learning 1 new word daily. Challenge. Think of a goal you've been putting off. What's the smallest possible action you could take towards that goal? Got it. Great. Now pause this video and go do that tiny action. I'll wait right here. Welcome back. How did that feel? Remember, that small action you just took is the first step on your journey, as Lao Tzu said. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. 2. Use the 5-minute rule. Our second strategy is the 5-minute rule, and it's beautifully simple. When you're struggling to start a task, commit to working on it for just 5 minutes. That's it. Just 5 minutes. I use this technique all the time, especially when I'm procrastinating on a big project. Last month, I had a presentation to prepare, and I kept putting it off. So, I told myself, just work on it for 5 minutes. Those 5 minutes turned into 30, and before I knew it, I had outlined the entire presentation. Here's why this works. 1. It lowers the barrier to entry. 5 minutes feels manageable, even on your worst days. 2. It builds momentum. Once you start, it's easier to keep going. 3. It tricks your brain. Often, the hardest part is just getting started. Quick tip. Set a timer on your phone for 5 minutes. It creates a sense of urgency and helps you focus. Challenge. Choose a task you've been avoiding. Right after this video, commit to working on it for just 5 minutes. No more, no less. See what happens. Remember, as author James Clear says, the best way to change long-term behavior is with short-term feedback. Those 5 minutes can give you the immediate boost you need to keep going. 3. Change your environment. Our third strategy is all about shaking things up literally. Your environment has a huge impact on your mindset and productivity. So, if you're feeling stuck, it's time for a change of scenery. Let me share a quick story. I used to always work from my home office, but I noticed my productivity slipping. On a whim, I decided to work from a local cafe for a day. The change was incredible. I got more done in those few hours than I had in days at home. Here's why changing your environment works. 1. It provides a fresh perspective. New surroundings can spark creativity and motivation. 2. It breaks associations. If you always procrastinate in a certain spot, moving can help break that habit. 3. The act of moving itself can be energizing. Quick tip. Your change doesn't have to be dramatic. Even rearranging your desk or adding some plants to your workspace can make a difference. Challenge. Next time you're feeling unmotivated, try working from a different location for just 30 minutes. It could be a different room in your house, a local library, or even outside if the weather's nice. As Maya Angelou once said, if you don't like something, change it. If you can't change it, change your attitude. Sometimes, changing your environment is the first step to changing your attitude. 4. Practice visualization. Our fourth strategy taps into the power of your imagination. Visualization. This technique involves creating a vivid mental image of yourself successfully completing your task or achieving your goal. I used this technique when I was training for my first marathon. On days when I didn't feel like running, I'd close my eyes and visualize myself crossing the finish line, the crowd cheering, the feeling of accomplishment, the medal around my neck. It never failed to get me out the door. Here's a quick visualization exercise we can do together. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Now, imagine yourself working on your current project or goal. See yourself being focused and productive. Visualize the steps you're taking, the progress you're making. Now, imagine how you'll feel when you've successfully completed your goal. Hold on to that feeling. Open your eyes. How do you feel now? Visualization works because 1. It creates a bridge between your current state and your desired state. 2. It can reduce anxiety and increase confidence. 3. It helps clarify your goals and the steps needed to achieve them. Quick tip. Make your visualizations as detailed as possible. Engage all your senses for maximum impact. Challenge. Before starting your next challenging task, take 2 minutes to visualize yourself successfully completing it. Notice how it affects your motivation. Remember, as Walt Disney said, if you can dream it. Visualization is the first step in turning those dreams into reality. 5. Use the Pomodoro Technique. Our fifth strategy is a time management method that can be a game changer for motivation, the Pomodoro Technique. Here's how it works. 1. Choose a task you need to complete. 2. Set a timer for 25 minutes. 3. Work on the task with full focus until the timer rings. 4. Take a short 5-minute break. 5. Every 4 Pomodoros, 25-minute work sessions, take a longer break of 15 to 30 minutes. I started using this technique when I was writing my book. It helped me break down the daunting task of writing hundreds of pages into manageable chunks. Before I knew it, I had a complete first draft. The Pomodoro Technique is effective because 1. It breaks work into manageable chunks. 2. It creates a sense of urgency. 3. Regular breaks prevent burnout. 4. It helps you track your progress. Quick tip. There are many Pomodoro timer apps available, but a simple kitchen timer works just as well. Challenge. Let's do a Pomodoro session right now. Choose a task you've been putting off. Set a timer for 25 minutes and focus solely on that task. Ready, go. Great job. How did that feel? As Francesco Cirillo, the creator of the Pomodoro Technique, says, the Pomodoro Technique isn't about pushing yourself to work non-stop. It's about managing your time to make space for regular breaks. I can continue expanding on each section in this level of detail. Would you like me to expand on the remaining points in the same way? 6. Reward yourself. Our sixth strategy is all about positive reinforcement, rewarding yourself. This is one of my personal favorites because let's face it, who doesn't love a good reward? Here's how I use this strategy. When I'm working on a big project, I break it down into milestones. For each milestone I reach, I give myself a small reward. It might be watching an episode of my favorite show, buying a new book, or treating myself to a nice meal. Rewarding yourself works because 1. It gives you something to look forward to. Knowing there's a reward at the end of a task can make you more eager to start. 2. It creates a positive association with completing tasks. Over time, your brain starts to link the good feeling of the reward with the act of accomplishing your goals. 3. It provides a moment of celebration and acknowledgement. Often, we're quick to move on to the next task without recognizing our achievements. Taking time to reward yourself allows you to appreciate your hard work and progress. Quick tip: make sure your rewards are proportional to your tasks. Save the bigger rewards for bigger accomplishments. Challenge: think about a task you need to complete this week. Now decide on a reward you'll give yourself when you finish it. Write it down somewhere. You'll see it often, so you stay motivated as you work toward it. Remember, as psychologist B.F. Skinner said, positive reinforcement is much more powerful than negative reinforcement. So don't be afraid to pat yourself on the back and enjoy your rewards. 7. Find your why. Our 7th strategy goes to the heart of what drives us, finding your why. Your why is your purpose, your driving force. It's the reason behind your goals and actions. Let me share a personal example. A few years ago, I was struggling to stick to a healthier lifestyle. I kept starting and stopping diets and exercise routines. It wasn't until I connected my health goals to my deeper why, being able to play actively with my kids and set a good example for them, that I was able to make lasting changes. Finding your why is powerful because 1. It gives meaning to your actions. When you understand the deeper purpose behind what you're doing, even mundane tasks can take on greater significance. 2. It helps you persist through difficulties. When you hit obstacles or setbacks, reminding yourself of your why can give you the strength to keep going. 3. It helps you prioritize and stay focused. Your why can help you say no to distractions and focus on what truly matters to you. Quick tip: your why might change over time, and that's okay. Regularly check in with yourself to ensure your actions align with your current values and goals. Challenge: take a moment right now to reflect on a goal you're working towards. Ask yourself, why is this important to me? How does it align with my values? What impact will achieving this have on my life or the lives of others? Write down your answers and refer to them whenever you need motivation. As Friedrich Nietzsche said, "He who has a why to live can bear almost any how." When you're clear on your why, you'll find the how becomes much easier. 8. Practice self-compassion. Our 8th strategy might surprise you: practicing self-compassion. When we're feeling unmotivated, our instinct is often to be hard on ourselves. But research shows that this self-criticism actually undermines our motivation. Instead, self-compassion can be a powerful tool for boosting motivation and resilience. I learned this lesson the hard way. I used to berate myself whenever I fell short of my goals, but all that did was make me feel worse and less motivated. When I started practicing self-compassion, I found I was actually more motivated and resilient. Here's a quick self-compassion exercise. Think of a recent setback or failure. Now, imagine a close friend had experienced this same situation. What would you say to them? How would you comfort and encourage them? Now, can you offer yourself that same kindness? Self-compassion works because 1. It reduces stress and anxiety. When we're kinder to ourselves, we create a supportive internal environment that makes it easier to take on challenges. 2. It helps us learn and grow from our experiences. Instead of getting stuck in self-criticism, we can look at our situation more objectively and figure out productive ways to move forward. 3. It builds emotional resilience. When we're compassionate with ourselves, we're better able to bounce back from setbacks and stay committed to our goals in the long run. Quick tip: when you're feeling unmotivated, try talking to yourself as you would to a good friend. Challenge: for the next week, every time you notice yourself being self-critical, pause and try to reframe your thoughts with kindness and understanding. As psychologist Kristen Neff says, with self-compassion, we give ourselves the same kindness and care we'd give to a good friend. By being kinder to yourself, you might just find the motivation you've been looking for. 9. Connect with others. Our ninth strategy is all about harnessing the power of connection. When we're feeling unmotivated, it's easy to isolate ourselves. But reaching out to others can be a powerful way to reignite our motivation and energy. I experienced this firsthand when I joined a writing group. Sharing my goals with others, getting feedback, and celebrating each other's progress gave me the boost I needed to finish my book. Connecting with others boosts motivation because 1. It provides accountability. When we verbalize our intentions to others, we often feel more accountable. 2. It offers new perspectives and ideas. Sometimes a fresh viewpoint is all we need to reframe our challenges and find new motivation. 3. It reminds us we're not alone in our struggles. Knowing that others have faced similar challenges and overcome them can be incredibly motivating. 4. Positive social connections release mood-boosting hormones. They can boost our mood and energy levels, indirectly supporting our motivation. Quick tip: connection doesn't always mean direct interaction. Reading about someone who's achieved similar goals or watching an inspiring talk online can also provide a sense of connection and motivation. Challenge: reach out to someone today, a friend, family member, or even an online community, and share a goal you're working towards. Ask them to check in with you about your progress in a week. As motivational speaker Jim Rohn said, "You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So choose your connections wisely and let them inspire and motivate you." 10. Embrace the process, not just the outcome. Our final strategy is about shifting your focus from the outcome to the process. When we're too fixated on the end result, it can feel overwhelming and demotivating. By embracing the process, we can find motivation in the journey itself. I learned this lesson while training for a marathon. At first, I was obsessed with my finish time. But when I shifted my focus to enjoying each run, appreciating how my body was getting stronger and celebrating small improvements, I found I was much more motivated to keep training. Embracing the process works because 1. It makes the journey more enjoyable. When we're not solely focused on the end result, we can find satisfaction in the daily acts of working towards our goals. 2. It builds resilience in the face of setbacks. If we're only motivated by the outcome, setbacks can be devastating. But when we value the process, we can find motivation even when things don't go as planned. 3. It leads to more sustainable progress. By focusing on the process, we develop habits and skills that serve us well beyond any single goal. 4. It can lead to better outcomes. When we're engaged in the process, we often produce higher quality work and make more thoughtful decisions. Quick tip: keep a progress journal. Regularly write down what you've accomplished and what you've learned. Challenge: for your current goal, identify 3 skills you're developing or improving as you work towards it. Focus on these process-oriented aspects for the next week. As Arthur Ashe said, success is a journey, not a destination. The doing is often more important than the outcome. By embracing the process, you can find motivation and satisfaction in every step of your journey. Conclusion: we've explored 10 powerful strategies for motivating yourself when you're feeling meh. Let's quickly recap. 1. Start small. 2. Use the 5-minute rule. 3. Change your environment. 4. Practice visualization. 5. Use the Pomodoro Technique. 6. Reward yourself. 7. Find your why. 8. Practice self-compassion. 9. Connect with others. 10. Embrace the process, not just the outcome. Remember, motivation isn't something that just happens to us. It's something we can actively cultivate. These strategies are tools to help you take action and make progress, even when you're not feeling your best. Different strategies might work better for you at different times or for different tasks. Don't be afraid to experiment and find what works best for you. And remember, it's okay to have days when you're feeling unmotivated. It's a normal part of being human. The key is to have strategies in place to help you move forward despite those feelings. Lastly, be patient and kind to yourself as you implement these strategies. Building new habits and changing your mindset takes time. Celebrate your progress, no matter how small, and keep pushing forward. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of motivation. I'd love to hear which strategy resonated with you the most. Leave a comment below, and let's motivate each other. Remember, you have the power to motivate yourself, even on your toughest days. Now go out there and take that first small step towards your goals. You've got this.